Yeah, it's hard to be super disappointed because we did have some really good showings by especially some of our younger guys. So that was really good, but I think for me the main thing was that we didn't accomplish our goals, and that really reveals a weakness in our program because we can have podiums, but we haven't been able to target a single race and accomplish that. So we've made some good steps in being able to get on the podium, but we really targeted this event and we had everything we needed to have to succeed here, and we didn't succeed. So that's a real revealing that we haven't been able to target an event and capitalize on it. We had a great wax team, we had good skis, we had our guys in the house with a great cook. Everything was in place, which is how we want to have it at the Olympics as well. But we didn't do it. So that's going to take some sitting down and seeing what we need to do better. But on the other hand, starting out with Morgan Aratola's 24th place, it's hard to be really disappointed, because for a while, not that many years ago, even when I started, which is only 6 years ago with the team, just that 24th place would have been a really positive thing for the whole event. So today I think we had 3 in the top 12, something like that, and I'm going home scratching my head rather than celebrating. So it's hard to be super disappointed, but at the same time, yeah, we did not do what we came here to do.
About this the other day, that just in general the expectations from the skiing community are so much higher, as you were saying, that now people want to see Chris Freeman on the top 5, and he finishes 29th and scores World Cup points, and that's a bad day. And that seems like a good thing in some respects, that we now expect our athletes to be at the highest level.
It's a good thing in all respects. Of course, we would like for the community to support the athletes and also have some understanding that it's look at Norway today, dominated the first day.
Yep. Today
nobody even close to being in there.
Yep.
So I really hope that the community supports the athletes, and I know that part of that is really expecting great things from them. But it's the same for me. I expect really great things from them, but when they don't do well, it's not, you don't get down on them.
Right.
And it's like being a fair weather fan.
Right.
Like everyone wants on board when things are going well, but we need people on board when things are not going well. So that's how it is right now.
Watching these races up close and skiing these courses, you realize that it's such a fine line. Like, you have to be right there, and if you're just not quite right there, you're 30th or 40th.
You're not 30th. You're
way.
And the field was very strong here, but it was also not really big.
Right.
So a 40th or 50th here is
70th, 80th.
70th or 80th.
Yeah.
So we'll see that when we get back over to Europe. But I guess Kaze is a good example. The first day, I don't know what place he was, but he was last.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't let that get him down. He's like, okay, that's what happened. The next day he came out, and at the first split, after 1.5 Ks or whatever, he had the second fastest time. So he just came out charging. He said, I'm doing this, and had a great finish. Again, his place probably in Europe would have been a bit further back than, I think he was 34th or something like that. But his fist points were really good.
Right.
And so it was a really good race. And then, of course, today, even better. So that's just an example of, it's down times. And then if you keep your head up and just keep hammering away at it, there's going to be good times.
A little bit more about Kaze, because that seemed like a pretty spectacular result for him to go from, skiing well domestically, all of a sudden he's top 10 in a World Cup. And while the field might not be as big as in Europe, it certainly seemed like the top 30 skiers were pretty fast out there. And
for sure.
I guess, what do you see that meaning for him in terms of his development moving forward from this result?
He qualified 29th.
Yeah.
So in Europe he probably wouldn't have qualified.
Right.
But that being as it is, he was, when he was in the heats, he was super fast, and especially over the last 100 meters or whatever, he was as fast as a lot of those guys. That's a really good sign, just having that speed, and also the strength that he is putting that speed in the last bit. So the work that CXC and Brian Fish have done it's super. And if there can be something that we can say has really helped U.S. skiing, it's those kind of programs. Morgan Aratola is out of Sun Valley. Then we had Leaf is out of Bozeman.
Yeah.
And APU brought a ton of really good skiers here. So if as a country, that's where we're making our big progress, and that's how we're going to make the progress. Nathan, he's written a bunch of articles for you guys.
Yep.
And people are saying, well, what's up with American culture? And tackling American culture in general is like, that's a
job that's probably a little beyond you.
Dude, I've looked through my job description.
That's not there.
But we have these little cultures, little areas within the U.S., and those are the cultures that we have to nurture, the APUs and the Sun Valleys. Right. And then the programs that are trying to be where those guys are. We're not going to get all kids out from in front of the Nintendo.
Right.
But we can get those areas and those clubs really well supported, and those are the guys doing the jobs.
Right.